Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
Box 13. Box 13. Box 13. Box 13.
Holliday, why did you ever leave a soft job as a reporter to become a freelance writer? Or why did you ever advertise for adventure? Oh, I know it makes you feel like a kid with a box of Cracker Jack. Now you can't stop. You might run across a juicy peanut, or that grand prize is supposed to come in each and every package. But you know by now that storylines, like money, don't grow on trees. Susie, where have you been?
You know where I've been, Mr. Holliday. Down at the Star-Times after the mail.
Oh, yes, the mail. What's in box 13? Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. And now, Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. Box 13. I wish I'd never rented the thing. Wish I'd never even thought of it.
Mr. Holliday, you're early this morning.
Well, I had to see if my new secretary's on the ball.
You know, since you rescued me from that nut factory down at the Star-Times, I'd work my fingers off the elbows for you.
Uh-oh, now take it easy, Susie. You'll need those elbows to lean on when things get dull around here.
Dull? Oh, things don't get dull around you, Mr. Holliday.
Hey, what's that you're writing, a love letter?
Yeah, it's a love letter to your publisher.
Uh-oh.
He wants to know where are the chapters you promised for the new book.
And what are you telling him, Susie?
A lie. A big fat one.
Thanks.
By the way, where are those chapters, Mr. Holliday?
If I had them, my secretary'd have lots of extra work. You don't like extra work, do you, Susie?
I don't like your worried look. When you don't have chapters, you have that look.
Oh, does it show so much?
Like a chinchilla coat in a dime store.
It's the hallmark of my profession, Susie. Say, what was in box 13 today?
Some goof wants you should fly to Mars with him in his homemade rocket.
Oh, brother.
Oh, yes. There was a ticket to a radio broadcast.
Radio broadcast?
Silky Soap presents Time for Drama, starring Jean Blake, 8 p.m. Federal Broadcasting Studios.
Now, who would want me to go to a radio show?
The advertising agency, maybe?
Those guys don't read Adventure Wanted ads. Too busy dreaming up singing commercials.
Someone wants you should go to that broadcast awful bad.
Yeah.
She wrote please in the back of the little envelope.
She?
Yeah, she. And I don't like her taste in lipstick. The one she wrote this with is the color of blood.
And now you have returned, my darling. I am alive again. The wind is down, but still the seas run high.
Time for Drama has presented The Wind is Down, starring Jean Blake. In the cast were Robert Baylor as John, Agnes Sloan as grandmother, and Marvin Masterson as the butler. This is FBC, the Federal Broadcasting Company.
Sorry, sir, we're closing the studio.
Huh? Oh, sure. I was meeting someone. They must have stood me up.
Someone in the cast, sir?
Yes, it could be.
I think they've all gone, but you might try the stage entrance.
Oh, thanks. How do I get there?
Around to the back of the building, sir, just opposite the parking lot.
You blithering idiot. Watch where you're going.
Sorry, I didn't see you coming around the corner.
You autograph hounds always clutter up the entrance. For that, I'll not give you mine. Step aside there.
Oh, don't mind him, son. He's just an old ham. A has-been.
Oh, that's a heavy hunk of ham. Who is he, Pop?
Name's Marvin Masterson.
Not the Marvin Masterson.
Yep. He's washed up in pictures. Through on the stage, too. Does bits on the air now.
Say, didn't I see him play a butler on Time for Drama tonight?
Yep. How the mighty have fallen.
Say, Pop, you read that like an actor.
Was one once. Oh, nothing like Masterson, of course. And I can appreciate how he must feel.
Well, someone else did, too, when he said, "Fame, it is the flower of a day that dies when the next sun rises."
Well, you an actor, too, son?
No, writer.
Name wouldn't be Dan Holliday, would it?
Yes, why?
Got a message for you.
From whom?
Don't know. Found this note on my desk. If Mr. Dan Holliday comes around, ask him to go to the Mayfair restaurant.
Hey, what is this? I'm getting passed around like a collection plate.
And when you catch up to her, give her a pencil. That lipstick smeared up my call sheet.
Monsieur Halliday, it is an honor to have you once more at Mayfair. You have deserted us too long.
Working hard, Henri?
Always. But tonight, you relax. You have fun, eh, Monsieur Halliday?
What do you mean?
A charming young lady waiting for you at your table.
Oh, I'd hoped you'd come, Mr. Holliday.
Why, you're Jean Blake.
Yes. I must talk with you.
We'll order later, Henri. Now, what is this all about?
Oh, I suppose I am being rather mysterious.
I'm used to mystery. Besides not owning a pencil, what's your problem?
Pencil?
Yes, that lipstick you write notes with comes off on things.
Oh. I'm in danger, Mr. Holliday. Grave danger.
But why come to me?
I know about you in Box 13. You advertise adventure wanted. Will go any place, do anything. I need help, so...
So?
Mr. Holliday, I'm going to be killed. I'll do anything you ask, but you must help me. You must.
Oh, now, look, Miss Blake, I'm a writer, not a detective.
Pardon, Monsieur Halliday.
Yes, Henri?
There's a call for you. May I plug in the phone?
A call? Oh, sure. Excuse me, please. Hello?
You're engaged in an interesting adventure tonight. Aren't you, Mr. Holliday?
You must be psychic. Who's this?
If seeing into your future is being psychic, I suppose I am. You see, when I ring off, I know you will tell that beautiful young woman sitting next to you that you can't help her.
Oh?
Surprised?
Yeah, a little. What makes you so sure?
If you don't send her away, you won't be able to help her. Or anyone else.
That I don't see.
Something else you don't see is a gun. It's aimed precisely between your eyes. No, don't look around. You can't see it from there. But an expert marksman can see you, however. Every move.
You're in this restaurant?
Interesting situation, isn't it? Hundreds of people around you, and you don't know which one you're speaking with. Or which will shoot you if you don't do what you're told. Get rid of that girl, Holiday. Now!
Now, Miss Blake.
You will help me.
But Miss Blake,
But you must. You simply must. Look, I'll pay you anything.
I don't want your money, Miss Blake. I want you to see the police.
You won't help me?
No,
That's final?
that's final.
Very well. Goodbye, Mr. Holliday.
Well, nice going, Holiday. A young woman in distress pleads for help, and what do? Send her out into the night alone. But you had to do it, so that madman on the phone wouldn't hurt somebody. Now you've got to find her, and fast. Henri! Henri!
Oui, Monsieur Halliday?
That girl who just left, Jean Blake. Did you see where she went?
Oui, monsieur. She walked towards the park.
Well, this is the park, but no Jean Blake. Oh, there she is. Miss Blake! Miss Blake, wait! It's all right, Miss Blake. It's Dan Holiday.
Oh, but I thought...
No time for thinking. Get in my car quickly.
What can I do? What can I do?
Oh, now, easy, Miss Blake. Take it easy. There. You're all right now. Come on, try to be calm. Can you tell me who's been threatened? There's only one thing we can do.
What?
Go to the police. You can relax now, Holiday. You're off that hook. The Blake gal's probably back home, and you can bet they put a cop to stand guard at the door. Sure, Holiday, this would have made a great springboard for a yarn. But you're out of it now. So I'll just forget the whole thing. Anyway, what would you have done for the last chapter? Last chapter. Of course, if you should go back to the Mayfair for lunch tomorrow, you just might run across something interesting.
Aren't you Dan Holiday?
Yes?
The author? I thought as much. I've seen your pictures on dust jackets of your very exciting books. I'm a fan of yours.
Well, have a seat, Mr. Masters.
You recognize me. Have we bumped into one another before?
Well, I'd call it a near miss. But along with a few million others, I'd recognize you anyway.
Personally, I detest dining alone. Since no one was with you, I took the liberty.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you. Henri, serve my dinner here.
Oui, monsieur.
Your voice is very distinctive, Mr. Masterson. Seems I've heard it just recently.
Of course. It was on the radio. I have been doing a bit of that, you know. Simply for amusement, of course.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I saw you on Jean Blake's show last evening. You played the butler.
Yes. I asked them not to credit me. Here's just dabbling with radio. A new medium, you see.
Well, I'm sure the name Masterson means a great deal, even to the radio audience.
The public soon forgets.
Call Monsieur Halliday. The phone is connected.
Oh, thank you, honey. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Holliday. It's going to happen. What I told you about. I know it is. If only you could come now. No. No, don't shoot.
Hello? Hello? Good Lord.
Holliday, what's wrong?
Jean Blake. She's just been murdered.
You are listening to Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. And now, back to Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Well, what a sleuth you turned out to be, Holliday. You sit in on a mutual admiration session with a tired old ham actor. And the gal you're trying to protect gets knocked off.
Hold it, Mac. Where do you think you're going?
Miss Blake's.
Miss Blake ain't seeing nobody.
Yeah, that's for sure. She's dead.
Dead? Are you crazy, mister? I've been here all the time.
Which part of the duplex is hers?
Upstairs. But you can't...
Come on. This it?
Yes, but I...
Come on, bust it in. See what I mean?
Suicide, huh? What did she take?
Suicide. You better look again. She was shot.
That's impossible. I'd have heard something. I've been here 6 hours and I ain't heard no shot.
But there were 3 shots. I heard them just 15 minutes ago.
You heard them. You wasn't here 15 minutes ago. Or was you?
Were you?
I told you I've been here 6 hours.
Didn't you leave for cigarettes or something?
I told you I've been here...
Yeah, I know you've been here 6 hours. But who was around before I got here?
No one. That is, nobody but them.
Nobody but who?
The tenants of the other apartment. An old guy and his daughter, name of Masterson.
Masterson?
Look, Mac, you know too much about this. I'm holding you till I get the inspector down here.
Sure, when you phone in, tell headquarters to send along a magician's manual.
Huh?
If you didn't hear any shots, this thing must have been done with mirrors.
Did you talk to Miss Blake after you left her last night?
No, not till she phoned me this noon, Inspector, at the restaurant.
She phoned you at the restaurant this noon.
Yeah, that's right. I was having lunch with the guy from downstairs, Marvin Masterson.
Well, I got news for you, Holliday. If you talked to anybody, it wasn't Miss Blake.
What do you mean?
She couldn't have telephoned you. She's been dead over 12 hours.
How about that? Holliday. Holliday, where's that good ear you're supposed to have? Sure, you would swear it was Miss Blake's voice. But she was dead 12 hours before. Look, Holliday, you're trying to find the last chapter. But even you couldn't write this one. But it was her voice. Come on now, think, Holliday. What did she say over the phone?
It's going to happen. What I told you about. I know it is. If only you could come now.
There was something else that came over that wire. Something a good ear would have picked up.
If only you could come now. If only you could come now.
Think, Holliday, think. What else did you hear over that phone? A clock. A Clocks sounding the Westminster Abbey chimes.
Yes, coming. Yes?
Miss Masterson? I'm Dan Holliday.
Oh, yes. Good evening. Won't you come in?
I'm sorry to intrude.
Oh, not at all. Father told me he lunched with you this noon.
Oh, yes. Is your father at home?
No.
Oh.
Is there something I can do?
Oh, yes. Answer a few questions, if you will.
Well, if it's about that poor girl upstairs, the police have already questioned Father and me extensively. Poor Father. He was so upset he went out to our beach cottage for a few days.
I'd like very much to know...
Can't you get your information from headquarters?
No.
Why?
You see, I know more than the police do.
Isn't withholding evidence a crime, Mr. Holliday?
Yes. So is aiding and abetting a murder.
I'm afraid that's not very clear.
Some details are not clear to me. That's why I'm here.
Are you insinuating that...
No. I'm accusing.
Accusing whom of what?
A father and his daughter of murder and abetting a murder, respectively.
It's ridiculous.
I don't think so.
I get it. This is just a gag cooked up between you and my father. Well, it really isn't very funny.
It's no gag. Your father murdered Jean Blake. And I believe you helped him, Miss Masterson. And now I'm sure of it.
Is my silence that expressive?
No, but your clock strikes the Westminster chimes.
Chimes? I don't see what they've got to do with it.
I see several things. Your fancy record player, for one. It does have an attachment for making recordings, doesn't it?
Mr. Holliday, you have no right to ask questions. The police got all the information they wanted.
But not the evidence to convict Marvin Masterson. I know he's a murderer.
You'll have to prove that.
This noon over the phone, I heard Jean Blake calling for help. Then I heard the shots that killed her.
Well, if my father was dining with you at the time, how could he be the killer?
I heard the murder, but not at the time it was committed. It was you, Miss Masterson, who telephoned me at the restaurant.
Are you trying to say I'm clever enough to go through that shooting routine and then fake Jean Blake's voice over the phone?
It was Miss Blake's voice, all right. However, I heard it 12 hours after your father killed her in this apartment. Later, he carried her body upstairs.
That's fantastic.
Is it? Mind if I go through this collection of records? I should find the one Jean Blake was forced to cut on this machine before she was shot to death.
No, don't, please,
Oh, you did play that record I heard on the phone.
Yes. But I thought it was a joke Father was playing on someone. He phoned me a few minutes before and told me what to do.
What did you think when you discovered Miss Blake was dead?
I was frantic. You see, Father wanted me to forget all about the record. He refused to answer any of my questions. Mr. Halliday, my father can't be responsible for this tragedy. He's just a broken old man. He was the idol of millions for so long, and now they don't want him anymore. It's breaking his heart. And please, I'm begging you to forget all about this, Mr. Halliday.
I thought you might be innocently involved. But I'm afraid you can't protect your father from a murder charge.
What will they do with him?
I'm sorry, Miss Masterson, but I'll have to take that record.
Don't touch that cabinet, Holliday.
Oh, you didn't like the beach, Masterson.
I didn't go. You're too clever to be out of my sight.
Being at this end of your gun might indicate otherwise. But I don't like guns pointing at me.
Hey, get out of the way.
He was going to shoot you.
Oh, you're so right. Fortunately, you got in the way. Are you convinced now that he killed Miss Blake?
Yes. I'm afraid I am. How did you know it was done here, not up in Jean's apartment?
Jean didn't have a clock, which strikes the Westminster Abbey chimes.
This is Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
What is station high? 'Tis a proud Bendicut. It boasts and begs. It begs alms of homage from the throng, and oft the throng denies its charity.
Holiday.
What's that, Inspector?
I said that Masterson was a fool. Imagine his insane jealousy of a young performer leading him into a murder plot.
Oh, I know, but after all, look at it from Masterson's viewpoint. He'd been a great star, now he was reduced to playing a bit. Support of a girl he considered an upstart.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad.
Yes, his thinking went awry on him. He figured if he got rid of her, they might rebuild the show around him.
The old boy was nutty as a peck of peanut brittle.
Well, Mr. Holliday, should I go over to Star Times and see what's in Box 13?
Oh, not this morning, Susie. Today we work.
Chapters for our publishers?
Chapters for our dear publisher.
Good. Oh, say, before we start, there's a letter here for you.
A letter? What's it say?
It's from the man who owns the apartment building where you live.
Yes?
It says, your rent is past due. Get it up or get out.
Oh, fine.
Next week, same time, Alan Ladd stars as Dan Holliday in Box 13. Alan Ladd appears through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures and may currently be seen in Wild Harvest. Box 13 is directed by Ted Hediger with an original story by Frank Hart Tossig. The part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker. Original music was composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. This is a Mayfair production. Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Box 13. Box 13. Box 13. Box 13. Box.
He leaned over the shining halo of her blonde hair, reflected in the soft glow of the new moon. Oh, no, not that. Holliday, my boy, why did you ever decide to write fiction for a living? You know, you could have gone into something interesting, like being a truck driver, with the open road in front of you and a motorcycle cop in back. Hey, Susie, where you been?
Don't you remember, Mr. Holliday? I went down to Star Times office.
Oh, so you did. Tell me, what's new in Box 13?
Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. Now for Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Well, what now, Mr. Holliday? What's new in Box 13? Yesterday, a man wanted to sell me a horse for $1,000 and a ranch to go around the horse for 25 times that much. The day before, my ad for adventure brought me a reply from a golf professional who simply wanted to drive golf balls off the tip of my nose.
Mr. Holliday.
Was that Susie?
I said that when a nice young man like you runs an ad, he should get a whole box full of answers.
Oh, well, thank you, Susie.
He should get bushel baskets full.
Well, thanks again.
The place should be loaded with letters.
All right, all right. Now, what did I get?
One postcard. And from a kid at that.
A kid? You mean a child?
Sure, uh-huh.
Here, let me see it. A postcard from a youngster. It's probably a gag. Some small girl selling 10-cent packages of flower seeds for 50 cents. Sell 5,000 packages, and she gets absolutely free a St. Bernard dog. Well, let's see what really is on this postcard. I wrote to you, care of Box 13, because I thought you wanted it that way. I gotta see you right away on a very important matter. I am still doing business at the old stand. Signed, Johnny Moran. Johnny Moran? Why, he's a little boy who sells newspapers on the corner. Hey, Susie, get Johnny Moran up here right away.
Oh, I can't do that, Mr. Holliday.
Why can't you do it?
Because he's here already.
Well, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, Johnny, how are you, my boy? Why didn't you just come up and see me instead of writing a postcard first?
Well, I like to do things sort of businesslike. Besides, it was fun to answer an ad for Adventure Wanted. Would you really do anything, Mr. Holliday?
Sit down, Johnny, and tell me what your trouble is.
Well, I kind of wanted to see you alone. Sort of private-like.
Oh, that man-to-man stuff, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, where would you like to talk?
Well, I thought maybe you'd come down to the corner with me. I'll buy you a drink.
A drink? You interest me strangely, Johnny. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, Susie, you'll excuse us, won't you?
Well, I don't know. You better be careful, Mr. Holliday.
Careful?
I don't want Johnny teaching you bad habits.
Johnny Moran is a very nice boy. Can't be more than 12, but he certainly seems to know his way around. Yes, Holiday, if you were ordering a small boy, this is just the model you would choose. But this drinking business...
I'm worried about you, Mr. Holliday. You sure that lemon Coke is enough?
Lemon Cokes are always enough for me, Johnny. Especially when I spike them with an ice cube. Say, how's your banana split?
Well, this one's got a little too much chocolate. I like the last one better.
Better finish it, my boy. You want to talk business, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought you might have read about it in the newspapers. Of course, you could have missed it. It was way back on page 5.
What was on page 5?
Well, here, I got a clipping of the story. Read it.
Police announced they had recovered a portion of the jewelry stolen in last Tuesday's raid on Maury Jewelry Company. Held under suspicion of grand theft is John Moran. John Moran? Johnny, that's your father.
Yes, and he didn't do it, Mr. Holliday. I know he didn't.
Just a second. A part of the loot was found in Moran's apartment.
I don't care what they put in the newspapers, Mr. Holliday. He didn't do it. That's why I came to see you.
What about your mother, Johnny?
Oh, she died when I was a baby. Pop and I lived together. But he didn't do it, Mr. Holliday. Only they won't believe me.
Oh, you've been down to the police?
Sure, I went there right away. I even offered them my $18 for bail. You know what?
What?
The old DA just patted me on the head and told me to go home. But I'll bet you could go down and talk to that district attorney and make him let my father out. You can do anything.
Well, not quite anything, Johnny.
Yeah, but this would be easy for a guy like you. Besides, you're not afraid of anything. Not even a policeman.
Well, that's very flattering, Johnny, but I don't know what I can do.
Oh, you'll think of something, Mr. Holliday. You're a writer. You're smart.
Oh, but listen, my boy,
I'll bet you get my father out of jail in time for dinner.
Okay, Holiday. The boy says you can get his father out of jail in time for dinner. But what day? The story in the paper makes it look like they caught John Moran cold. You don't find stolen jewelry in a man's apartment if he didn't do the stealing. But there's a small boy waiting with all the faith in the world. So, Holiday, do something.
The district attorney will see you now, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, thanks.
Holiday. Haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I've been pretty busy.
Huh, busy, huh? Well, then what brings a promising young author down to City Hall?
Because he's a promising young author who made a promise. And I hope he didn't make a mistake.
Hey, what in the world are you talking about?
About a man named John Moran. You've got him locked up in your nice new jail.
Yes, and from what we've got on him, he's going to stay there for a while.
His son thinks Moran is innocent, Clark.
Yeah. I feel sorry for that boy. He came down and talked to me, but what could I do for him?
You've got the goods on Moran, then?
Absolutely. The police found some of the stolen stuff in his apartment.
Well, what's Moran's story?
A woman who works in the same building with Moran asked him to stop in at the jewelry store and pick up her watch. While he was there, this stick-up artist walked in and held up the place.
And that makes Moran guilty?
Don't be in a hurry. The stick-up artist used him as a shield when he beat it. Moran claims the man forced him to drive the getaway car out into the country.
Well, that still doesn't make him guilty. I think you've got the wrong person.
This is where Moran's story went wrong. He walked into police headquarters and told it, but it sounded too good to be true. They detained him while a detective went over and searched his apartment.
Oh?
The detective found part of the loot. Moran couldn't explain where it came from. Well, to our office, it looks like he pulled a clever gag. We think he's in with the hold-up men.
What about the woman, the one who sent Moran after the watch?
Grace Willard? We don't have a thing on her. She's in the clear.
I see.
So, Holiday, you better forget about playing Don Quixote. Day of fighting windmills is over. Go home. Forget about Johnny Moran.
Sure, Holiday. Just forget all about John Moran. Write Benita the story and take it out of the typewriter. But how are you going to write the dialogue for a man who has to tell a small boy that his father hasn't got a chance? And describe the look in that boy's eyes.
I don't care what that old district attorney said. My father isn't a crook.
And your father should have been able to explain the stolen jewelry they found at your place.
I'll bet he could, too. They just wouldn't listen to him.
Oh, now, Johnny, if your father's innocent, they'll let him go.
So you won't help me either.
But I'm trying, my boy. What else can I do?
Nothing, I guess. See you later, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, Johnny, listen to me.
I'm kind of busy right now. I gotta earn a lot of dough, I guess.
Johnny.
Because lawyers come pretty expensive, I heard.
Oh, look, kid.
You better go home, Mr. Holliday. I should have handled it personally in the first place.
Small boys have that knack, don't they? They can just vanish into thin air when they want to. You're quite a character, Holiday. Go home and write this on your typewriter. Write about the small boy who wanted you to get his father out of jail. And you didn't quite make the grade. Hello?
Mr. Holliday, this is Johnny. I'm up at the place where we live.
Yeah, Johnny.
There's something funny going on.
What are you talking about?
I'm afraid to go into our place. There's a man in there.
You know him?
He's going through the place, though. He's looking for something.
Johnny, listen. Run outside, find a policeman. I'll be right over.
I gotta get out of here.
Johnny, do what I said.
He just walked out the door. He saw me.
Get over to Moran's place fast, Holiday. You've got no time for fooling. He's not outside. Maybe he's upstairs. Oh, Johnny! Johnny! Where could that boy have gone to? Grace Willard. The woman who sent Moran up to the watch. If she knows Moran, she knows his boy.
Yes?
Oh, Miss Willard?
Yes.
Well, I'm Dan Holliday. Would you know where little Johnny Moran is?
Come in. Now, what's this about Johnny?
Well, he phoned me a few minutes ago from his place. There was a man going through it. He saw Johnny making the call.
Johnny's disappeared?
Yes.
You phoned the police? Do you think he's been hurt?
Well, the police knew nothing about it. I don't know what happened to the boy. That's why I came over here. I figured that if you knew his father, you knew Johnny, you know.
Poor Mr. Moran. I feel so badly about him. You know, if I hadn't asked him to get my watch, this never would have happened.
But that doesn't make it your fault, Miss Willard.
Oh, I feel terrible about it just the same. And now, Johnny disappearing.
He hasn't been here at all?
No. Let me think of it. Oh, by the way, I was just having some coffee. Would you care to join me?
Grace Willard is a very nice person. Really worried about the boy. Perhaps she'll come back with an idea.
Here's your coffee, Mr. Holliday. Now we'll talk.
Well, thanks.
Did Johnny recognize the man?
No, he didn't have time to say.
Well, perhaps he found a policeman on the street. He might have gone back to the house.
Well, maybe I ought to call back.
Johnny's a cute little fellow. Johnny has a father who's in jail.
Johnny's quite concerned about his father and would like to set him free.
Grace Willard is stalling Holiday, waiting for something.
I don't know if Johnny will get his wish or not. You see, his father looks very guilty to the police.
Holiday, you idiot. That coffee was doped. The oldest gag in the world, and you swallowed it.
You look sleepy, Mr. Holliday. Are you feeling all right?
She looks like a reflection in one of those amusement park mirrors. She's long and skinny. No, she's short and fat. Holiday, get up on your feet.
How do you feel, Mr. Holliday? Are you all right? Answer me.
Get on your feet, I said. Walk, Holiday. Walk this thing off before it's too late.
You look very tired, Mr. Holliday. Let me get you a pillow.
Come on, Holiday. One big
How do you
effort.
feel, Mr. Holliday?
I can't make it.
You are listening to Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Oh, take it easy, Holiday. Take it easy. Turn slowly now. Maybe your head still is connected to the top of your neck. That's better. Better. What am I saying? Where am I? An alley. Oh, fine. Dan Holliday, author, found lying in an alley between yesterday's newspapers and tomorrow's trash. What you need right this minute is a quick change, a fast bath, and a little chat with a district attorney.
I've got a man going up to the Willard woman's place right this minute, Holliday.
Thanks, Clark.
This ties her up with the Moran case.
Sure, else why would she give me knockout drops and have me dumped in an alley?
I'll bet anything she's disappeared. But why just knock you out? Why not dispose of you permanently?
I don't know, unless she was trying to kill time. Enough time to get something done.
Well, you can't do anything now. If she's disappeared, she won't stay lost for long. My men will bring her in.
Don't let her give him any coffee. She'll be out again.
Pardon me. District Attorney's Office, Clark speaking. Yes? Where? When? How is he? Thanks.
I'll see you later, Clark. I want to go over and see Johnny Moran.
I don't think you'll find him at home, Holliday.
Why not?
That was the hospital who just called. Johnny Moran was brought in a while ago, the victim of a hit-and-run driver.
And on top of that phone call about Johnny Moran is another one. Grace Willard checked out of the Wharton Hotel an hour ago. So, Mr. Holliday, they got you out of the way long enough to get to little Johnny. A small boy in a hospital. Me with an aching head and an aching feeling that something is very, very wrong. I think this is it, room 809. Johnny?
Hello, Mr. Holliday.
How do you feel, kid?
Kind of banged up.
Yeah, I know. The nurse said you weren't to do too much talking. So just let me ask a couple of questions.
It wasn't an accident, Mr. Holliday. He did it on purpose.
You sure about that, Johnny?
Yeah. I was walking down a side street. He had to swing way over to the wrong side to hit me.
Johnny, did he look like the same man who was in your place?
I didn't get a good look at him. He was bent down way behind the wheel.
Well, Could you give me just a hint? Was he tall, short, thin, fat?
All I know is
Yes? Johnny. Johnny. Johnny passed out and won't be permitted to talk for a while. Well, that puts it up to you, Holliday. Come on, you're an author. You write hundreds of situations like this one. Think. The boarding house where Johnny lives. Maybe the landlady saw the man. I certainly hope so.
Johnny Moran? Yes, I saw him come home, but it was quite some time ago.
Oh, did you see him leave?
Yes, he went upstairs. I heard him on the telephone, then he came running down.
Who was the man chasing him?
Chasing him? There was no one chasing him.
Are you sure of that?
Well, of course I've been here all the time. Oh, poor little fella. Don't know what's going to happen to him, what with his father and all.
This doesn't make sense.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, nothing. You see, Johnny called me, told me there was a strange man in his place. The man saw him, he hung up the phone and disappeared.
But I saw no man.
Are you sure?
Only Joe Coakley, but he's one of my roomers. That is, he was.
Was? When did he move?
Today, just after Johnny left.
Was he upstairs while Johnny was there?
Why, yes. Yes, he was.
Was he a friend of John Moran's?
Oh, no, he never spoke to anyone. Stayed in his room all day and went out at night.
Oh, one of those night flyers, huh? Could I see the room he occupied? This is Coakley's room, but it's empty. Well, Holliday, it looks like you're on the wrong track. Or are you? A stub from a dance hall ticket. I'd better talk to Johnny about this. Johnny, the man who came out of your room, was he about my height? Did he have grayish hair? Did he wear a brown suit?
Yeah, that's the man, Mr. Holliday.
How come you never saw him before? He lived right across the hall from you.
That guy? He only went out at night after I was in bed.
Oh? I'll see you later, Johnny.
Hey, where are you going?
Tonight I'm going dancing. This is a very nice place, Holliday. Admission 60 cents, which includes an evening of dancing. And from the looks of the customers, they're trying to get their money's worth.
Like to dance, fella?
Who, me?
You ain't not twins, are you?
No, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm a very bad dancer.
Oh, you let me be the judge of that. Come on, kid. You look good to me.
Oh, wait a second. Say, isn't that Joe Coakley over there?
Oh, you know Joe?
Yeah, and the girl with him.
That's his girlfriend, Grace Willard.
Oh, thanks. I'll see you later.
Hey, where you going?
This is it, Holliday. Only what are you going to do? They're leaving, and if you stop to make a phone call, you'll lose them. And I wouldn't like to lose that man. He's the one who hits small boys with big automobiles. They're going into that apartment house. This begins to look like the final chapter. Now to make a fast telephone call to an old friend, then better to get to the payoff. This is a very nice door. You can hear quite distinctly through it. Well, Holliday, here's where you cease to be a wallflower and become the life of the party.
Joe! Holliday!
Put up your hands, fella.
Sure.
Close that door, Grace.
Well, here we are. Aren't we?
On your recliner, Joe. What are we going to do?
You finish packing that junk, we'll figure out something.
We can't let him stay alive.
Finish the packing, I said.
Too bad I didn't use poison in that coffee I gave him.
Quiet.
I noticed you were packing. Going away someplace?
What do you think? And get away from that bag, Holliday.
Oh, that's the stuff that was stolen from the store, huh?
None of your business.
Oh, going away together? You and Miss Willard?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. You pull that go down and pick up my watch routine in a lot of cities, huh, Joe?
Make him be quiet, Joe.
Hey, Joe, who was the girl who worked with you before you met Grace? You know, the one who lived in Cleveland, or was it Chicago? I always forget. Come on, Joe. What happened to her?
Shut up, you.
What happened to her, Joe? Or the girl before?
How do you know there was another girl, Holiday?
Well, Miss Willard, you don't think you're the only one, do you?
You're crazy.
Yeah? Ask him where he was last night.
Don't pay any attention to him, Grace.
He wasn't with you. Know where he was?
How do you know he wasn't with me?
The stub of a dance hall ticket I found in the other room. It calls for only one admission.
You shut up, I said.
Just a minute, Joe. Were you down there last night? Were you dancing with that blonde again?
Suppose I was. So what?
You've got a lot of nerve. You had me set up this whole deal. Had me find John Moran to play sucker for us. Had me frame the business of picking up my watch. I timed it out perfect for you. What do? You go dancing with a blonde.
Grace, be quiet. This fellow's up to something.
Me? Now, what would I be up to?
What about that other girl he talked about? What happened to her, Joe?
Why don't you tell her, Joe?
Cut it out, will you?
Did she plant stolen jewelry in a sucker's room like I did to Moran?
Grace, listen.
Yeah. I'm listening. Go on, explain.
Holiday, where are you going?
Just opening the door. You see, I'd like the district attorney to hear the rest of your explanation, too. Well, this is the last chapter to a story I was afraid might have an unhappy ending. But Johnny Moran's father is free. The district attorney has Grace Willard. Joe Coakley and the stolen jewelry. And Johnny? Johnny is out of the hospital.
Mr. Holliday,
What did you say, Johnny?
I said you might have been killed going up to the apartment like that.
No, I was safe with the DA just outside the door.
Gosh, and you figured it all out by yourself.
No, you helped, too, when you telephoned me. And I hate to mention this, kid, but did you bring the $18 with you?
Sure I did. I pay off, you know. Here.
Oh, thanks, kid. I was just a little worried.
I was going to pay before, Mr. Holliday, but I didn't think you needed money that bad.
I needed it to put with this check. Here. There was a $500 reward for recovering the jewelry, and it's going to a bank account for you.
$500? Gee, gosh, I guess I'm rich.
Johnny, what are you going to do with all that money?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is take you out and buy you a drink. How about an Idiot's Delight?
A what?
Idiot's Delight. It's got a pint of ice cream, 3 bananas, some oranges, and 7 flavors.
Well, Johnny, I don't know.
Mr. Holliday, I just heard that Johnny got out of the house. Oh, there you are, Johnny. How do you feel?
I feel swell, Susie. I just invited Mr. Holliday out to have a drink.
He can't go out, Johnny. He's got some very important work to do.
Well, gee whiz.
Thanks a lot, Susie.
Thanks? What are you thanking me for?
You don't know it, but you've just saved me from a horrible fate.
Next week, same time, Alan Ladd stars as Dan Holliday in Box 13. Alan Ladd appears through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures and may currently be seen in Wild Harvest. Box 13 is written and directed by Ted Hediger. The part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker. Original music was composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. This is a Mayfair production. Box 13. With the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Box 13. Box 13. Box 13. Box.
The body lay like a squashed melon at the foot of the cliff. Period. Period is right. Well, what happens now, Holiday? The inspector wonders how. The inspector wonders. Oh, no, it's Holiday who wonders. I wonder how. I wonder why. I wonder what. I wonder where you've been, Susie.
But, Mr. Holliday, I've only been gone 10 minutes. Went down to the Star-Times after the mail.
Oh, so you did. What's new in Box 13?
Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. And now, Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Well, this is quite a letter. Your ad, Adventure Wanted, will go any place, do anything, reads like a challenge. If it is, I dare you to go to Bay City Pier tonight and do what you will be told when you board the Ruthie J. The Ruthie J.
Mr. Holliday.
What's the matter, Susie?
You wouldn't go on a boat, would you?
Oh, why not? As a kid, I was a Sea Scout. Haven't been on a boat since, and I love them.
But, Mr. Holliday, what if when you got on that boat you were shanghaied?
Susie, the word is shanghaied.
Oh, shanghaied. What's the diff? Suppose some smuggler hits you over the head with a sloop or something, and...
A sloop? Oh, Susie.
Yes, a sloop. And then they sail off and dump you on the beach at Timbuktu.
They couldn't sail off and dump me on the beach at Timbuktu.
Why not?
Timbuktu happens to be in the middle of the Sahara Desert.
Oh.
Yes, oh. And please tie an anchor to that imagination of yours.
Okay, Mr. Holliday. But if you wind up on the other side of the world, please don't write me a letter about your voyage.
No?
No. Just reading about the ocean makes me seasick.
Well, Holiday, this is it. Take in a lungful of that fresh ocean breeze. Smell that fresh salt air. And fish. Not so fresh. Well, the letter said I was to board the Ruthie J. I wonder where she'll be. I wonder what she'll be. A schooner, trim and neat, 42-footer, 12-foot beam. There's your dreamboat. And, brother, what a scow. Neat. Like a tub of dirty clothes in a mud puddle. Ahoy! Ahoy, mate! Hey, you over there.
You're calling me, Mac?
Yeah.
What's with this, ahoy mate stuff?
You're a seafaring man, aren't you?
Don't let these tight pants fool you. And just 'cause I'm standing on this sea jitney, don't make me no sailor boy.
Oh, my mistake. Where's the skipper?
The skipper? Hey, look, Mac, I told you I ain't no sailor. With me, you gotta talk English.
Right, Gunsel. Dip that heater back under your wing and take me to the boss of this fish factory now.
That's better. Now you're talking my language. Can I help you across the rail?
Oh, thanks.
Say, is your name, Holliday?
Yeah.
Dan Holliday?
Now, how'd you guess?
Pleased to meet you. Sweet dreams, Holliday. I hope you enjoy the boat ride.
Holiday. Oh, Holiday, you've been sleeping long enough. Better wake up and see what's making your bed roll around like this. Oh, my aching head. Hey, what is this? Don't look now, Holiday, but Susie was right. You've been shanghaied. You're out at sea. Well, and a pretty girl aboard.
Hello, Mr. Holliday. I see you're up and around.
Yeah, I'm up and my head's going around.
Bit of a blow, eh, Mr. Holliday?
You mean the one on my skull or the one outside?
Oh, I'm sorry about that sapping you took. Sometimes Manny leans a little heavy with that blackjack of his.
If it had leaned any heavier, he'd have driven me right through the deck. Was it you who answered my ad for adventure?
Does that surprise you?
I wouldn't have associated such a violent reception with a lady.
You've embarked upon a real adventure.
Well, suppose I decide to sit this one out.
You could go ashore.
Now, which direction is ashore?
Immediately astern.
Oh, thanks.
About 15 miles.
Oh, well, in that case, I think I'll stay.
Good. I didn't want you to decline my invitation. Which explains Manny and his blackjack as a reception committee.
Oh? Well, since you're in back of this, just who are you?
My name is Marie Gordon. I felt you might be in need of a vacation, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, sort of a holiday for holiday. Is that it?
Exactly.
Well, great. Now, just where do we go on this vacation?
You go fishing with the captain.
Oh, I go fishing with the captain. What about you, Miss Gordon?
I remain locked in my cabin. I have things to think about.
What about Manny and his convincer?
He didn't sail. Other business kept him ashore.
The plot thickens. I fish with the captain while you stay locked in your cabin, and Manny with his blackjack prowls ashore.
Correct. And speaking of plots, Mr. Holliday, I've always admired those in your books. Perhaps you could confirm something for me.
I could try.
Establish the case of someone having something not his own, wishing to keep it from another person who desires it as well. Where would you put it?
Well, in the place you'd least expect to find it, of course.
Of course, Mr. Holliday. Good night.
Good night, Miss Gordon.
Remember, the fish bite early.
I know, especially the suckers. There's a strong odor aboard this ship, and it isn't just fish. But there's nothing you can do tonight, Holiday, so you might as well get some sleep.
Oh, a sailor's life is the very best life. So it's a sailor's life for me. A sailor's life for...
You're the captain?
Yep. Morning, sir. Come through last night's squall okay?
Yeah, except for this bump on my noggin.
Oh, to get his attention, eh? Twere a bit rough.
Rough is right. Oh, I understand you and I are going to do some fishing.
Aye, sir. These grounds is good for swordfish. Might even catch us a marlin.
Just where are we, Captain?
Them islands way off there is the Catalinas. Plenty of albacore here, too.
Doesn't Miss Gordon like to fish?
Don't know, sir. This is the first time she's hired me in the Ruthie J.
Then this isn't Miss Gordon's boat?
Nope. She's mine. We're just chartered for this trip.
How long are we provisioned for?
4 or 5 days. Could put in at Avalon if you want to stay out longer.
I didn't want to stay out this long.
Not ready to go ashore so soon, are you, Mr. Holliday? A few days fishing is just what you need.
What I need is to have my head examined.
That bump still bothering you?
No, but what might be happening back in town is...
Relax, Mr. Holliday. Everything will be taken care of.
Yeah. But I'm wondering how and what and why. Why is right. Just why would a girl like Marie Gordon maroon you on a fishing boat? What's the gag? And how's it going to be pulled, and on whom? Holiday is an author. You're not even a good fisherman.
You're quite a fisherman, Mr. Holliday. Why, in just 4 days, you handle that heavy gear like a real deep-sea man.
Thanks. But don't you think we've got enough fish?
You've got another. There goes your line off the outrigging. It's a big one. Let him run, sir. Now, hit him hard. Good. You've got him, sir.
Don't look now, but I think he's got me.
He's a marlin, I think. Let him play.
Let him go play with someone else. I'm tired.
Oh, that's too bad, Mr. Holliday. You set your drag too soon. That's why he broke the gear.
I wanted to break the gear. I'm sick of fishing. Captain, I want to be put ashore now.
Sorry, sir. Miss Gordon will have to give me new orders.
Now, look, Captain, I'm going ashore. I'm going to be there before tonight.
But Mr. Holliday...
Captain, you heard the gentleman. He's going ashore.
Aye, ma'am. Do we run for the mainland or the islands?
Neither. We stay here.
But you said Mr. Holliday was to go ashore.
That's correct. Lower the dinghy, Captain.
The dinghy?
And hand Mr. Holliday the oars.
The oars?
Ma'am, we're more than 10 miles off Catalina.
If Mr. Holliday wishes to be ashore before tonight, he'd better start rowing now.
Oh, you beautiful Box 13. If it hadn't have been for you, I wouldn't be out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in a rowboat. Better rest on your oars a minute, Holiday. Because the wind is coming up, the bump on your head is swelling, the ache in your back is growing, and the blisters on your hands are spreading. When Susie mentioned the beach at Timbuktu, she knew what she was talking about. There's no ocean there.
Hey, Spaulding. You looking for me?
Oh, there you are, Manny. Yes, I've been looking for you.
Now, what does the great Edward B. Spaulding want with
Quiet.
me?
Quiet, will you? You should know better than to mention me by name. Get in that boat.
None of your penthouse-type clientele would be in a joint like this. Have a seat, Spaulding.
I tell you, that doesn't matter. I just shouldn't be seen even talking.
In that case, hit the road. I gotta keep my rep, too.
Meaning what?
I'm a nice, honest hood. And even though you act and look like the owner of Tiffany's, to me, you're just a fence.
Where's your boss? Marie.
She's out fishing.
Fishing? She couldn't be.
Look, pretty boy. If her and this Holiday want to go on a fishing trip, it's their business, see?
It's my business to get what I've paid for. The last shipment's overdue. Now, where is it?
You're sounding kind of tough. For you.
With the amount of money this deal involves, I can get tougher.
Well, I don't know from nothing. You gotta talk to her.
If Marie's trying to pull something... Hey, wait a minute. You mentioned a Holiday. That wouldn't be Dan Holiday.
Did I say, Holiday? Thought I said, Holohan. Or was it Halloween?
All right, Manny, be a comedian. But tell your boss if she doesn't produce that merchandise by tomorrow, there'll be trouble.
Ha. If I told her, she might die of fright.
If she doesn't come through, somebody is going to die. And it won't be from fright.
Well, Holiday, you finally made it. You were towed into Catalina, hocked your watch for a ticket, and flew right back to town. If this is adventure, you'd better stick with the more dangerous sports like croquet or something. Susie. Oh, I forgot about Susie. She'll wonder what's happened. I'm 4 days late for lunch. She's not here. Guess she got hungry.
She's not here, Holiday, but I am.
Yeah, who are you?
Get in that office.
All right. All right, now what's this all about?
I want to know where you've been for 4 days.
I don't think I've had the pleasure.
It may not prove to be a pleasure, if what I suspect is true. Now, where's Marie Gordon?
Marie Gordon?
From your expression of surprise, I gather you know what I'm talking about. Did you catch any fish, or was it larger game you were after?
Not knowing who you are, I'm at a disadvantage.
Disadvantage is even greater now. Now, do you talk, or do I shoot?
Oh, do I have a choice?
No.
In that case, I'll talk.
You are listening to Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. And now back to Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Holiday, you can run into more trouble than a kid playing football with a beehive. You know, I don't think this guy's in the mood to believe you just got bopped on the bean and taken for a boat ride. He thinks you're in on the deal. Yeah, but what's the deal?
Come on, Holiday, talk.
Oh, I'd love to, but what do we talk about?
About 5 minutes. And if by then you haven't told me where you and Marie have been instead of fishing, I'm going to pull this trigger.
Now, believe me, I caught 5 tuna, 10 albacore, 4 swordfish, and a pair of blistered hands. And that's no fish story. Hey, where you going?
Over here to turn up your radio. You see, I'm very considerate of others. This is a very big gun, makes a very big noise. I don't want to disturb the neighbors when it goes off.
Okay, Mr. Whatever your name is. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. And if you don't believe me, you can start shooting.
You sound very brave, Holiday.
And I act very dumb. Now, I know it was stupid of me to accept a blind invitation to visit a boat named the Ruthie J. Because when I got there, a tough character in tight pants used my head for a dinner gong.
Somebody slugged you?
Yeah. And I've got the bump to prove it.
This character's name wouldn't begin with the letter M.
As far as I'm concerned, it ended with A-N-N-Y.
So it was Manny. Well, go on.
While I was unconscious, I was tucked Betty by in the cabin of the boat. When I woke up, I was gazing into the lovely blue eyes of one Miss Marie Gordon, a woman I have never seen before in my life.
Then I suppose you and this total stranger went fishing for 4 days.
Now you took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, find some more. And tell me you didn't ask any questions. That you were just brought back home with salt spray in your hair, a beautiful tan, and nothing else.
I asked plenty of questions, to which I got plenty of no answers. And for your information, I wasn't brought back home.
Oh? You, swam?
No, I rode. 10 miles, all the way to Catalina. There I caught a plane, took a cab from the airport, and found you here waiting for me. That, brother, is my story. You turned off the radio. What's the trouble? No gunplay?
No gunplay.
Great, but why the change of heart?
Holiday, I understand you're quite an author. But even you couldn't make up a story like that one.
So, Holiday got rid of the mysterious man with a gun. Hey, but what about Susie? She's not here. She's not at home. The Star Times. They'll know what happened to her.
Well, if it isn't Dan Holiday. Have a nice vacation?
Oh, wonderful, Jonesy. Hey, have you seen Susie?
Not since the other morning. She came in with a wire, telling her to take a few days vacation.
Hey, who told her to take a vacation?
Well, you did, of course. Don't you remember?
Jonesy, sometimes my left hand just doesn't know what my right hand is writing. Where'd she go?
She didn't say. She came in with a man wearing tight pants. She looked for the mail. There wasn't any, and they went away.
Man with the tight pants. Manny, I'll see you later.
No, wait. All this mail came while you've been gone. And a box, too. Here.
A box? What could this be?
Maybe candy.
Oh, nobody loves me that much.
Wait.
What?
You hear something tick in that box right now?
Tick. You think it's...
I think you better get that thing out of here.
Oh, but Jonesy,
Take it to police headquarters. Get it out of the building fast. It might blow up any minute.
You've ridden in many a taxicab, Holiday, but this is the first one you've taken with a maniac in the driver's seat and a bomb in the back. Inspector Blake. That's my man.
You say this thing ticked?
Yeah, it sounds like a clock in there.
Well, come on, hurry.
Where are we going?
We've got a bomb shelter down in the basement.
Oh, that's great, but why take the bomb with us?
We're going to open that box.
That's all I need.
Been soaking for 30 minutes. We're safe now.
Whew. Thanks, Inspector. Say, do you mind shoving my heart back into place for me?
Now, there's nothing to worry about, my boy. We'll open up this beauty and see what we've got.
Holy smoke.
These are jewels, Holiday. Now, what made you think this was a time bomb?
I have an aversion to anything that ticks.
And I have an aversion, too. To people like you who come in here talking about time bombs when all they've heard are some loose jewels clicking together.
Well, I'm sorry, Inspector. Well, I think I'll beat it. Just let me wrap up those stones.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Those jewels stay here until you can prove ownership. Now, where'd you get them? To whom do they belong?
Give me about 30 minutes, Inspector, and I think I'll be able to answer you. So that's what it was, Holiday. A stunt to smuggle jewels. Into Box 13, no less. That Marie Gordon, she's a clever, clever girl. No wonder the mysterious character at the office was waving that gun at me. Oh, think of what would have happened if I'd tried to lie to him. Come on, Holiday, you've got places to go and some people to meet.
I was so worried about you rowing all that way, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, that's okay, Captain. Hey, what I came here for was to locate Miss Gordon. Do you know where I can find her?
She's a popular woman. 2 other men come a-looking for her.
2 men?
Yep. One was a smooth-looking sort of fella. The other was a tough.
With tight pants?
That you mention it, yes. He was here when we docked.
What happened? Did you hear the conversation?
Only that the tough one was to go right quick to a place called Rambler's Inn and wait.
Then the other man arrived.
Yep. He seemed sore about something. They got in a car together and drove off. That's the last I seen of them.
Captain, you're terrific. When my blistered hands heal up, you and I are going back after the Marlin that got away.
All right, Matt. Where do you think you're going? Well, if it ain't Mr. Holliday again. Only this time, I don't think you were invited.
Yeah, that's right. And this time you're the one who's going Betty by. Pleasant dreams, Manny. Here. Just in case you get restless in your sleep, let me tie you in bed with this baling wire. I didn't have time to ask you in which cabin there were, Manny. With those angry voices I hear down the line, I don't think they would be coming from honeymooners.
Marie, for the last time, where are those jewels?
Don't threaten me, Spaulding. Manny's right outside. One call from me and he'd be all over you like a rug.
I gave you the money to pay off the smugglers. I want the jewels.
At first, the boys didn't want to turn over the stuff. When they finally did, I thought they might try to get it back.
So you went off on a fishing trip with a man named Holliday. Why?
Certainly. And for a good reason. Holliday has the jewelry.
What? How did he get into this?
You know about his ad in the Star Times?
What about it?
When I thought we might have trouble with the boys, I had to think of a place to put it where they wouldn't expect to find it.
So?
I sent it to Box 13. Where are you going?
Pay another visit to Dan Holliday.
Don't bother.
What?
I'm here.
Holliday!
Manny! Manny!
I'm afraid Manny won't hear you.
What?
He's taking his nap. And you look sleepy, too. Say, Manny's blackjack works fine. Your friend Spaulding is sleeping like an infant. Now,
What?
Now, what's this about my having that smuggled jewelry?
You, could share in it with me.
You're very generous.
I can afford to be. Duty-free, and with Spaulding's wealthy clients.
Oh. You decided to cut Spaulding in after all.
Why should I?
What do you mean?
I'd rather cut you in, Mr. Holliday.
No, thanks. I'm not interested.
But that's foolish. Think of all that money.
I am, but I'm also thinking of a great tag for the yarn I'm going to write.
But what will that get you?
Royalties, lady. Royalties.
This is Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Well, Holiday, prepare yourself for an I told you so from Susie when she comes in. Brother, wait till she finds out she was right about those smugglers and my being Shang-Hoed.
Holiday.
What is it, Inspector?
We've been after that smuggling gang for a long time. That Gordon dame hadn't gotten so greedy and tried to chisel on Spaulding, we wouldn't have caught up with him so soon. And, of course, you helped a bit, too.
Oh, coming from a police inspector. Those are very kind words. Well, Susie, it's about time you showed up.
Oh, hello, Mr. Holliday. My, what a beautiful tan. Catch any fish?
All kinds. Tell me, Susie, where have you been?
Out of town. The wire you sent me said to take a vacation for 5 or 6 days.
Oh, the wire I sent, which I didn't send.
Well, anyway, you didn't specify which, so, Mr. Holliday, I took 6.
I see.
And Mr. Holliday...
Yes, Susie.
You know the nice man that I went down to Box 13 with?
Yes.
Well, I told him how I warned you about being taken by smugglers, and do you know what he said?
No. What did he say?
He said you were right about the smugglers. They wouldn't hit you on the head with a sloop. They'd use a blackjack.
Oh, fine.
Next week, same time, Alan Ladd stars as Dan Holliday in Box 13. Alan Ladd appears through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures and may currently be seen in Wild Harvest. Box 13 is directed by Ted Hediger with original story by Frank Hart Tausig. The part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker. Original music was composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. This is a Mayfair production.